Hi, and welcome back to part 3 of this series on tips for new Spanish teachers. In part 3, we are going to talk about classroom policies and procedures, boundaries that you can set in place, both for classroom management, but also for your own health and well-being, like just talking about how to divide work, life, that sort of stuff. First, we're going to talk about the classroom policies you need to have in place, and this should happen even before the school year begins. Then we're going to talk about 90% time goals and the target language and how important that is for our students, but also, even more importantly, how to get your guardians and grown-ups on board, because if they don't understand why Spanish class is having so much Spanish, you're going to meet a lot of resistance. So talking about that with them is really important. Then we're going to talk about your syllabus. It feels a little bit silly to say that the syllabus is not the first thing we're going to talk about when we're considering policies and procedures, but it definitely has a place. So we're going to discuss what needs to go on your syllabus and how to set it up. Fourth, we're going to talk about classroom management strategies. And this is, again, just something that you need to think about, you need to keep in mind, you need to have in place even before the school year begins. And that is because you don't want to be in the middle of a classroom management crisis and be going, oh, shoot, we didn't talk about this. I didn't decide what I'm going to do with this. I don't know. Okay. If you decide ahead of time, it's going to set you up for success, because then you can point to your policy and say, we don't do that in this room. Fifth, and super important, you're going to create your sub binder. When I was a first year teacher, I'm kind of embarrassed to share this. I don't know if I just zoned out, if I just missed it, if I was just like information overload, but I didn't know how to request a sub as a first year teacher. And I didn't have anything in place. So just my entire first year teaching, I just didn't ask for a sub. Do not recommend. Right? Make sure you know your school system for asking for a sub. But we're also going to talk about what goes into your sub binder and how to have some emergency sub plans in place, just in case there are days where you wake up and you're like, I cannot go to school today because, whatever is happening. And then last but not least, I think this is so important to have as part of policies and procedures, is your work-life balance. And the things that I'm going to talk about for policies and procedures are things like, when do you answer your email? When do you even open your email? All of those sorts of things, setting pieces in place to protect, like, this is my time, this is your time. And how do we do that with teaching? Because it can become so fluid and come into our lives. As always, if you have any questions while you're going through this chunk of new teacher tips, make sure you just reach out, drop me a comment down below. I'm so excited to help, and I can't wait for you to have a great year. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.